Welcome back. The program is still Good Morning Abuja, and yes, our first guest of the day is standing by, and of course, I know you know this guest already. Someone that we always love to listen to, especially as he is a critical stakeholder as it concerns the security of lives and property here in the FCT, and I'm talking about Mr. Peter Olumuji, a security expert and a consultant security person for many, many, many organizations. You're welcome on the program, sir.
Thank you very much.
Yes, Mr. Peter Olumuji is joining us virtually from our other studio. Mr. Peter, the security situation in FCT, especially as the first round of elections is over, let's hear your thoughts.
Well, when you talk about the security situation in the FCT, you can attest to it that everywhere is calm and everywhere is relatively peaceful. The FCT administration, in conjunction with all relevant security agencies, ensured that before the election, some proactive measures were taking place, and considering that there might be one or two flashpoints, so they were able to ensure that they place the necessary security strategy to curtail any eventuality. And that has snowballed into the peaceful atmosphere we are enjoying today in FCT after the presidential and the National Assembly election.
Okay, Mr. Peter, when we talk about FCT, it's somehow because we have a ban in place against motorbikes. That is what we refer to as Okada. But it's like this ban is not effective as we still see Okada, especially on the major highways.
Yeah, it's not that the ban is not effective. It just shows that you have people who are determined to frustrate the efforts of the FCT administration. Because the FCT administration have come out under the Directorate of the Road Traffic Services Division department to state clearly and interface with all the relevant stakeholders during the commercial motorcycle business, which we popularly call Okada, and they've given them places they ought not to apply, and enforcement was at the top gear before the election time. So what we simply expect is for them to comply with this restriction and ban order. They are not asking them not to operate, but they've given them where to operate from. And also, the resident of FCT2 needs to play a key role in ensuring that this particular ban is effectively handled. Because when you know the Okada man is not supposed to take you to the highway, and you insisted against all order the man must bring you to the highway, what you have simply done is you've deliberately, contributed to the breaking of law and order in the FCT. So we want to employ the residents too to ensure that they play their role, and while the FCT administration under the normal the arm which is saddled to ensure enforcement will continue enforcement.
Okay. Many of the residents would complain that the issue they are facing and why they need some of these bikes or Okada riders is the fact that transportation has become a major challenge, given the fact that there's a cash crunch with the Naira redesign policy and the attendant hardship it has brought on Nigerians. Would you agree?
I don't think I will agree 100% on that, because if you look at the issue of the Okada riders breaking the law of the restrictions that have been that have been put in place. Now, let's take Lugbe Federal Housing as a practical example. There's a certain point in which it has been earmarked for them to stop and for the passengers to alight from the bike. But you realize that they will always come to the main road, which is an express road, and be competing with vehicles that have the right of way there. Now, if the Okada riders decides to disobey the law of the land, do we expect that we as residents too will join them in doing same? When you go to other Western country, people trek some distances before they could even board a vehicle and the rest. The distance at federal housing is very short distance for you to alight and join the next available bus. But we have decided, some residents have decided not to adhere to this. So when you bring in the issue of the cash crunch, that there's no cash in place, even when the cash was available, they still broke the law.
Okay. All right. Still on the cash crunch and the fact that this Naira redesign policy is taking a heavy toll on Nigerians, there are concerns that this could trigger unrest. How do we curb this? What do we need to do?
Well, the unrest, that the unavailability of cash to everyone in Nigeria, you know, the unrest have taken its toll before now, even before the election. But one good thing you realize that in the FCT, there was never a time whereby there are incidences attached to the unavailability of cash in banks. And right now, the Supreme Court have given a judgment, and we know that the federal government is going to comply with the judgment of the Supreme Court. The pressure before now is no longer there. Everything is getting more relaxed now.
Now, Mr. Peter, how our intelligence gathering mechanism, especially here in the capital city, how effective is it? Are we able to stop crime before they happen?
Yes, when you talk about intelligence in combating crime, that is the heart of every security operation, because there's no way you can dictate crime without good intelligence. And once you are able to get the necessary intelligence, you'll be able to prevent the crime from happening. Or even if at the end of the day, the crime occurred, during investigation, you'll be able to pinpoint, investigate effectively, and be able to arrest the perpetrator. That is why in the intelligence circle, we always say that intelligence is the heartbeat of every security operation. Once you're able to get credible and actionable intelligence, then you are able to nip some crime before it is being committed. You know, and also you should also know that when you talk about intelligence is not only gathered from the security agencies alone. That is why the police there's something they call informants. Informants too are people that gather intelligence on the street, and they pass this intelligence to the relevant security agencies. And as these security agencies analyze them, they are able to work on it. But again, take note of something here. If you have credible and actionable intelligence, and you are not able to place measures to make sure that you nip that crime on the board, then that intelligence has been wasted.
Now, thank you so much for coming on the program, Mr. Peter Olumuji. We do get a lot from your security advices, and we look forward to hearing from you every time. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yes, the program is still Good Morning Abuja, and you heard it from Mr. Peter. Some of your concerns that you sent in, we've asked Mr. Peter Olumuji, and you heard his response. So, go about your activities safely. Put in mind that this Nigeria belongs to all of us. Remember also that it's not just for us, it's for those that are going to come after us. And so we must ensure that we do a proper handover to them. That is improving on what we've been given. And that is the spirit here in NTA Abuja Channel 5. And of course, on the program Good Morning Abuja. We'll go on a short break. When we return, Good Morning Abuja continues.